Hello and welcome back to another Slay the Spire stream. I'm your host, Vegetablebread, and today we're going to be starting off with an Ironclad run. Got a rare card, 100 gold, 250 gold for a curse, or a boss relic swap. Fuzzy Ducky, you weren't doing nothing good. You were doing you did a subscription. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really like rare cards as Ironclad. Rare cards are super good. Corruption, Impervious, Feed, Reaper, Demon Form, bunch of really good stuff there. There's a couple of misses too. There's like Berserk and what's the other misses? Is Dark Embrace a rare or an uncommon? Dark Embrace is an uncommon, right? Oops, I spelled Embrace wrong. Crap. It is an uncommon. 250 gold is nice, or 100 gold or 250 gold are theoretically nice if we're forced into a shop. So let's see if we're forced into a shop and sitting there not giving out to anyone who wasn't doing it any good. I see. Your Bezos specs we're not going to any better purpose at the moment. That makes sense. Well, I appreciate you sending them on over. Looks like we're probably going to this shop if I had to guess. Seems like this Fire Before Elite, 3 Elite routes, probably the best one. We could do a 4-fight path. Oh wait, no, that costs us a fire. We're not doing that. So probably this 3-fight path with 2 question marks afterwards. Ideally, you want the question marks before the fights, so that if you get like Golden Idol, for example, you'll get more gold from the fights, or if you get like an upgrade, then you can use the upgrade in the fights and lose less health because of it. But it's not a huge deal, so 3 fights is what we're looking for, so 3 fights, 2 question marks is fine. Then a Fire Elite, and off we go. If we decide we are, like, if we get hurt a lot here, we can, like, wimp out and take a shop here into a fire, and then maybe get another late elite. Seems like a great path. Alright, so let's see what the rare card is. We got a Reaper. Okay, so we're going to be looking to strength scale. Reaper puts us pretty much all in on strength scaling. Yeah. I would say the 2 main ways of building Ironclad are either strength scaling or exhaust synergy. I think exhaust synergy can be quite a bit better for Act 4. But we have a Reaper in the deck, so we're doing strength scaling. Reaper Strike is not lethal on this guy. So I think it's actually going to be like double defend, strike the back one to split him. I do want Reaper in this fight. Yeah, let's do this double defend strike line. This way, when we draw 2 strikes next turn, we can always kill one of them with it. And if he's like buffing, then we don't need to kill him. So we could double defend strike the front guy. We are getting weakened here if we don't kill him. Which makes the Reaper less good. Although not much less good. It's going to hit for 3 AoE instead of 4 AoE. Reaper does such little damage, it almost doesn't matter that when we get weakened. So if we double defend, strike the front guy, he goes to 5, 5 and 7, and then this hits for 3. It's kind of inconvenient. I think I'll just kill the back guy. I'd rather not take 2 damage and then have to heal for 3 later to make up for it. I'd rather just kill him. And then we can put him dead to a Reaper Strike. Yeah, that's fine. Coconut says, it's not fun! Well, you're wrong, Coconut. Wow, all good cards. Dual Wield helps us strength scale by copying the strength scaling power, probably Inflame. So if we get like a dual wield inflame Metallicize thing going on, that'd be pretty neat. Make infinite copies of a bunch of powers. Heavy Blade and Sword Boomerang are both whatchamacallit, strength scaling payoff cards. Sword Boom is a little bit more efficient per energy. Heavy Blade is more efficient per card, and just hits harder right now. If you assume you have infinite strength, you want Sword Boomerang. If you assume that it's Act 1 and you have 0 strength, you want Heavy Blade. It is currently Act 1, so there's something to that. If you assume both are upgraded, then Sword Boomerang ends up doing 4 times strength for 1 energy, and Heavy Blade ends up doing 5 times strength for 2 energy. So 2 Sword Boomerangs would be 8 times strength rather than 5. So Sword Boomerang is much more energy efficient. However, like maybe we're picking Snecko Eye or something anyway, and we don't care about the energy efficiency of the cards. Or maybe we just end up with a lot of energy. What are you yelling about? What is going on, little coconut? So much sound. A lot of volume. Why don't you just calm down a little bit? I think it's probably irresponsible to pick dual wield. We don't have any powers yet. And we definitely don't want to be dual wielding strikes in a Lagavulin fight, for example. And it is Act 1, so I think I'm going to pick the Heavy Blade. I don't know, maybe she needs some attention? That's what I'm kind of assuming. She's been fed. What are you complaining about, Coconut, huh? You want some attention? Alright, here we go. Let's transfer you to a pillow where you can live out the rest of your days in peace without yelling at people. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, let's grab the Heavy Blade. I guess we're free to Reaper here. Reaper actually overheals us. We could just like Heavy Blade the Acid Slime and strike the Spike Slime. It's going to be tough to kill the Acid Slime without taking damage. But we are already overhealing by 2 at the end of the fight, so I think I'll just save the Reaper and get ahead of the curve on the Acid Slime a little bit. I'd hate to get both debuffs and then not be able to defend the following turn. Yeah, so we're taking a 4 here. But now we just have room to heal. Alright, defend double strike sets up for Reaper Strike lethal next turn. Do take another 5 though. Alright, well, I think that's the best we could ask for. Feel No Pain's a great card, but we're kind of committed to not doing Exhaust Scaling. I guess we could do both, right? Because Feel No Pain is like, it's how you scale block. So we could have Feel No Pain to scale the block and Strength Scaling for damage. There's also Reckless Charge here. Reckless Charge and Feel No Pain work really well together because you got the dazes and then you exhaust the dazes. Also works well with stuff like Evolve, so we can draw through the dazes really quickly. Oh, something's happening. A temporary flight restriction has been applied to Boca Chica, Texas, so we're gonna have to be watching that a little bit. It's also possible that Blood for Blood is correct. I don't know. It's probably just Reckless Charge, right? Like, Reckless Charge has infinite strength scaling, and we're trying to do strength scaling. We're also just, like, early in Act 1, so we still need to pick some attacks. Feel No Pain is not an attack. It is a power. Really makes me wish that I'd picked that stupid dual wield. Dual wield Feel No Pain is nuts. Can you imagine if this deck was dual wield Feel No Pain right now? I mean, we'd be terrible at Act 1 elites, but so good at the rest of the game. If you can get like a setup dual wield Feel No Pain. We got the rare from Niao. So it was just, he just gave us a rare. There was no downside. It wasn't to choose a rare, it was just a random rare. I do like Feel No Pain an awful lot. I think Feel No Pain is a lot more of a build-around card than Reckless Charge. Reckless Charge you can theoretically build around. There's like, if you get Medical Kit and like Evolve and Dark Embrace, you can do a Reckless Charge Infinite. But like, that's an awful lot of setup. And it involves Medical Kit, which is like extremely uncommon. Most runs never see a Medical Kit. Building around Reckless Charge is like, we already are building around Brimstone, right? Which is equally rare to Medical Kit. So like, why not just pick Feel No Pain and then claim that we're building around Brimstone? I know, right? It's so good against sentries. And we're already pretty good against Gremlin Knob and Lagavulin, because we have Heavy Blade. Unfortunately, Reaper is also really good against sentries, so we're already pretty good against sentries. I definitely don't... Like, Feel No Pain is less of a liability than you would think in Act 1, purely because of the sentries. But also, as soon as you get to Act 2, like, Chosen is waiting for you. And Feel No Pain's really good in that fight. Not very good in Slime Boss, but... I think we'll just grab a Feel No Pain. I mean, come on, we're gonna want to Feel No Pain, right? Like, alright, let's go take our third hallway fight. And it's a Jawworm. Alright, easy pool is over. Alright, I'll take a Vulnerable Reaper. Get the Feel No Pain out of the deck. I think we'll go ahead and double defend here, overdoing damage. Just take 2. Trying to get to full health at the end of the fight. Ooh, that's not happening. Alright, fair enough. Well, I'm trying to save the health anyway. Jawworm took a pretty good line on us here. Got some good bites in. Gotta respect it. Wow. Taking another 7 out of us, it looks like. Gross. I don't think there was any way we could have killed him a turn earlier, either. I think he just, like, threaded the needle there perfectly. Got us. We drew kind of poorly. We, like, set up a vulnerable turn with Bash, and then our only attack was Reaper. Oh well. Power Through seems great. It is not an attack, which is important. I would have liked another attack, but I feel pretty good about Power Through. Okay. Hey, Guitar. Is Buenos Tardes good morning? Because Buenos Noches is good evening? Because Noctus is night? I don't know. I'm just making shit up. I have no idea. Good afternoon. Interesting. What's good morning? I have no idea. Buenos morning. Buenos dias. But that's a good day. See, you can't trick me like that, Guitar. I know it, dias. Give me the word for morning. I want it. We can remove a card. Removing cards not something you always have access to. I think health is probably not too important, given that we have a Reaper and we're close to full health and we have Burning Blood. Huh, I thought Mañana was tomorrow. Hasta Mañana? Isn't that like a thing? What does Hasta mean? Until the morning. Okay. That makes sense for tomorrow. Hasta la vista is would be until what? Vista? Until I see you again? Is that what that means? Because a vista is like a sight, right? See you later. Huh. But it sounds like if Asta means the same thing, it would be like until I see you. It's weird that that means see you later. Huh. I mean, obviously things don't translate like that, so till we meet again. Interesting. Learning lots of Spanish today. We can take 14 health. We do get almost full value out of this. We are going to a shop later, so maybe it's worth it to save the money. But I don't think so. We're going to have to go through quite a few fights before you get there. A small amount of time, just a second, I think is a moment. An instant. Those are all small amounts of time. Second, like, when people say things like, just a second, or like, hold on a second, that always seems very strange to me, because a second is a very precise amount of time. Until quickly. Wait, what? What is unratio? Or unratito? I just tried to read that like an English word. Ratio is a word, but that one's got two T's. Very different. Alright, let's take the card remove. That's fine. Okay, another card remove. I think that actually puts us a little bit short on attacks. So we're probably going to take an upgrade here instead. Because we do have to fight our way through some elites here. A while. I'm going to start translating that directly and saying it in English. So if I have a task that takes a short amount of time and somebody's waiting on me, I'll say like, hold on, give me a small rat. Give me a tiny mammal here. What does the upgrade for Heavy Blade do? It doesn't change the base damage at all, and we don't have any strength scaling, so that seems like a bad idea. So I guess it's like we're upgrading a strike, or a bash, or defend, or something. Maybe power through? Seems like a weird time to upgrade. If we remove a strike, do we beat Lagavulin, or do we just die? I think we might just die to Lagavulin, because Heavy Blade will also scale down quickly. Maybe we take a transform here. But like transform is just rolling dice, right? Like that could also leave us dead to Lagavulin. So maybe we upgrade Bash and just say, Bash, we need you. Be the hero we need, Bash. Alright. But then what are we doing here? This was also an upgrade. Yeah, but the other option for the Heavy Blade pick was a Sword Boomerang, which descales even worse. It does like 1 damage after the first debuff. So I don't hate it. I think I am taking a strike upgrade here. I think I want something a little bit more durable. To Lagavulin debuffs. So here we go. Manually upgrading a strike at a campsite in 2020. Alright. It is sentries, which we do pretty much for free, so that's a good one. Defend is always happening, and then I guess Heavy Blade does the most damage. I was hoping for Feel No Pain power through, but didn't quite get it. Feel No Pain Reaper actually blocks for 3 and heals for 12. But Reaper will do that pretty much anytime we play it. Well, it's not quite true, because there might be a couple of dead sentries by the next time we see it, so I think we'll just go ahead and Reaper. Might be worth saving it, but I didn't feel like waiting. I'm gonna get that bash down, so I think I'm gonna play power through. We're unlikely to shuffle. I guess we're fairly likely to shuffle, but I need the damage. We want that strike plus and a strike here. Heavy Blade will do. And Dazes block out. Or not quite, but almost. Maybe we should have upgraded Feel No Pain. Would have been surprisingly relevant. So we're blocked out for 8 right now. I'll go ahead and take 2 to develop 6 damage, I think. Is that true? Do I care about 6 damage? Next turn we're blocking out for free. I think I'm just going to try and not take any more damage. Also, I knew that I wasn't getting lethal on Sentry in 2 turns, right? So, yeah, this is fine. 2 strike skills him now. What's the tax, Forby? You're taxing yourself? Is that what's happening? Alright, get a couple strikes in while he's not looking. Oh man, we're taking a damage. Lame. Okay. Wait, how do we have that many wounds? Didn't we only play power through once? I thought I saw 3 wounds, but I guess I didn't. I guess it was only 2. They were just split against 2 turns. Okay. Alright, bag of marbles. Man, a lot of really good block options so far this run. I got a Feel No Pain, Power Through, and a Flame Barrier. I would really like to take some attacks, but like... You want to take Searing Blow, huh? That's a hard turn. Searing Blow is a scaling plane for the Desperate, and we're already pretty much committed to strength scaling here. So I don't think that's appropriate here. If we had like a bunch of fires in front of us, it would be a good idea. So if we were on like a 4-fire Act 1, and we saw Searing Blow early, I could see it. But with the Reaper, I think we're pretty committed to strength scaling, so we don't need Searing Blow. So I'll take the Flame Barrier. Another Carter move. I think I might just take the gold here. We do need gold for this. Yeah, Carter moves are kind of scary. Okay. Ancient T-set's nice. Ancient T-set possibly convinces us to go to this fire before one of these elites. So we can do like this route instead. Get some extra energy on turn 1. I'd like to do 2 elites though. We'll decide when we get here. Flame Barrier seems important. Unless we have lethal, but we don't. Okay. Feel No Pain Reaper blocks for 6. Gets Feel No Pain and Reaper out of the deck and heals for 4. Seems okay. It's net health positive. This should be lethal. It is. Great. Fruit juice is nice. Shrug it off, Anger, and Sword Boomerang with picks here. Sword Boomerang is a badly needed attack. So I think we're pretty obligated to pick that. Obviously, not good against Lagavulin. But what can you do? Uh-oh. Strike can kill one. Probably this one. Yeah, Reaper's definitely good in this fight, for sure. Unfortunately, we're getting weakened, and the vulnerability is wearing off. I think the line here is probably we just kill 2, we just strike 1 Heavy Blade 1. Alright, take 6. Power 3 blocks out. Bash sets up a good Reaper. Kapow. Okay. No attack turn. Sure, sure. I think we were net health positive on that fight. Wow, 2 block bots up. Second win? Jesus. What the hell? Feel no pain, power through second win by a floor 11. I mean, sure, right? What is happening? Hey, Forby. What is the flavor of the day? Dude, great question. Flavor scientists have been wondering that exact question for years. What is the flavor of the day? I believe it's salted caramel. I had a salted caramel mocha earlier in the day. That was my choice this morning. I don't usually go to Starbucks, but when I do, get a lot of sugar put in my coffee. Extra fire means extra upgrade. We could upgrade the feel no pain. It seems pretty good. Second wind is also a good upgrade. Flame barrier, power through. I don't feel mega confident about the elite. So we could just kind of skirt through this way like I was talking about. Reaper has a terrible upgrade. I don't think you probably want to upgrade that. Get 1 extra AoE damage. Reaper's one of those cards where it's like it's so good in the base form, but then the upgrade is like basically nothing. Starbucks makes my vision get blurry and get caffeine shimmies. My goodness. That's a strong reaction. I almost like, part of my starting the stream ritual is that I make myself tea. And I almost made myself tea and then I was like, no. We don't need any of that noise. So it's like upgrade versus relic, right? We've got so much health though. It feels like we've got health to burn. Yeah, that's a lot of cold brew. Fighting against the heart, dude. I do get a little bit of frisson. I get some arm hairs standing up sometimes when I fight the heart because I'm like, all right, I've been playing this stupid run for 4 hours. Let's see if the heart decides to randomly kill me on turn 3. Yeah, I like a feel no pain upgrade quite a bit, especially with a second wind and a power through in the deck. Like, come on. The upgrade's quite good. This relic has got to be like basically free though. We're at full health. We've got 2 block pots. I don't know though, because like we're pretty bad against Lagavulin. It's like no joke. Lagavulin like legit might kill us. It's definitely not going to happen though. Like we got a bash plus and a strike. I'm going to take the fire. I'm just going to fight 1 elite. It's good enough. Is it feel no pain? It's not like a risk consideration guitar. It's just like I'm not sure what the upside of what the upside of fighting the elite is. It's like, yes, we can probably fight 2 elites and a boss without resting. But, like, I kind of want that upgrade. Hey, Sardimal. Yeah, second wind does block for more. That is true. Two block per exhausted card. And it is the main source of our exhausted card. But later on, we might get, like, a medical kit or, like, a true grit or fiend fire or something. Like, Feel No Pain is, has got a lot of ways to do more. It's definitely a strong block deck. Feel No Pain, Second Wind, Power Through, Flame Barrier, all in Act 1. So we started out with the Reaper from Meow, so we were like, all right, we have to strength scale. We've picked a couple of cards that are compatible with that, so we want to find some strength scaling, but we haven't found any yet. So right now we're just like a super heavy block deck. I think I'm going to take the Feel No Pain Plus. Upgrade Sword Boom makes some sense. Unfortunately, it's bad against Lagavulin. There's an Immolate. That seems great. We can't afford Immolate and Limit Break. Limit Break seems pretty good. I would like to be a Limit Break deck. I have a Heavy Blade, Sword Boomerang, and a Reaper. Unfortunately, Limit Break has nothing to start from here. And it's up against Immolate. So I think it's probably just going to lose that. We could take Limit Break and Strength Pot, actually. Oh wait, no, we barely can't afford that. Darn. It's true. We do if we skip Boot and get killed by Nemesis, it's our own fault. Also, Boot is super good with Sword Boomerang, right? Shockwave is also here. Shockwave is a hell of a card. But I think it would be crazy to not pick Immolate, right? I think we're basically forced to pick Immolate. If we picked that dual wield on floor 1, we would be such a monster deck right now. This Heavy Blade could have been a dual wield. We could have dual wielded a Reaper. Could have dual wielded this Feel No Pain. Could have dual wielded Metallicize. That would be a very different position to be in. That would have been way better, it turns out. But we didn't know at the time that we were getting like Feel No Pain, Power Through, Flame Barrier stuff. I don't hate just picking up Metallicize. We've got so much block. Metallicize just tosses a little bit more on there. Metallicize is definitely useful. I like Metallicize a lot. It's definitely most useful with dual wield to scale it infinitely. But I'm pretty sure we're picking Immolate. And then I think I'll pick a Metallicize just because it's the only thing left that we can buy, and I think it's better than skipping. Okay. Definitely fighting Elite now. It is Lagavulin, that's exactly what we were afraid of. Alright, we're gonna wait until we get some powers down. Or we find Immolate, basically. Metallicize Immolate. Or Metallicize, wait for Feel No Pain. Bash is not good for setting up wake-ups here, because we've already upgraded it, so I think, yeah, let's just play Immolate whenever we see it. Second Wind blocks for 5 here. 5, 8, plus that's 20. It's pretty good. Or we could just strike and do that. Now, let's get some value out of the Ascender's Band since we haven't played Feel No Pain yet. Maybe we're just not playing Feel No Pain. Because this turn wants to be Heavy Blade Power Through. Yeah, I mean, anytime you're getting full value out of a block bot, you should do it, right? Alright. Immolate with a vulnerable target. Seems pretty good. Sort of unfortunate that our hand was full of 2-cost stuff there. Alright. Sad sword boomerang. Not a bad Lagavulin. Would the boot have gotten us extra damage? You're right. The boot would have saved us. What was it, like 5 health or something? Flex is not terrible here. Definitely, if we picked the limit break, Flex would have been quite good. The main upside of Flex is that we have a lot of 2-cost stuff: Immolate, Flame Barrier, Heavy Blade, Reaper, Bash. A lot of 2-cost stuff. So it would be nice to like have a 0-cost thing to go with those. Also works well with Heavy Blade and Sword Boom, obviously. Reaper. If you're going to take a Flex, you need a Flex Plus, and we are taking an upgrade next floor, so we'd probably go to Flex if we're picking it. Currently, the upgrade probably goes on Immolate. Immolate gets a pretty good upgrade. Immolate basically has 100% draw and played rate, so 7 extra damage is just extra damage per shuffle. The energy efficiency is not amazing. 3.5 extra damage per energy, 2 energy for 7 damage. Let's see, what else are we thinking? Headbutt would work well with the limit break thing, but we don't have limit break. And if we did have limit break, we'd be picking Flex. Flex is kind of just a weak card. Like, if we find like a demon form or like a brimstone or something, the Flex is going to feel like super left out immediately. And even if we find like like orange pellets or clockwork souvenir to combo the Flex into permanent strength, it's just not a very good card. Like 4 strength is not an amazing outcome of like a uncommon combo. It is neat though. Flex orange pellets is definitely a thing, but like orange pellets is just always good. So we could, and Flex is a common. So if we find orange pellets, we can just take a Flex later. So are we picking one of these other cards? Is that what I'm saying? Because these don't seem amazing. Headbutt gets us back like second wind. Bottled Flex plus Bottled Whirlwind is way far away from where we are. We don't have a Whirlwind or either bottle. Yeah, no, definitely. Like Bottled Flex Bottled Whirlwind is like the speedrun build, and it's amazing, right? But like, the thing about the speedrun build is like, if you're doing that, you just restart when it doesn't work. But that's not really. We're trying to kill the heart here, so we're going for consistency, not like raw turn 1 power. We have a lot of block. We could pick Iron Wave just to have more block. Seems like this deck probably wants like an Entrench and a Body Slam eventually. Juggernaut. Barricade. Oh yeah. It's definitely enjoyable. I don't know. It feels like it could be a skip. It feels like it's a really bad feeling skip. Because we've been looking for attacks all of Act 1, and now there's a couple of attacks here. But I think we might be done. Immolate's so good. Yeah, we want strength scaling, but I don't think we want it bad enough to pick a Flex. And I don't think Headbutt's really doing anything. Thanks for the follow, Dead Negator. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Patch. Yeah, Headbutt's not doing anything fancy. We don't need block badly enough to pick Iron Wave, and Flex is bad, so I think it's a skip. 65 is plenty, so let's go ahead and smith up. Presumably Immolate. Let's think about other stuff. Flame Barrier's okay. Second Wind could pay off. Second Wind's actually pretty huge in the slime boss fight, because there's so many slimes for it to hit. So we could definitely go with Second Wind, but I think Immolate's probably the pick. Okay. Yeah, we are up against slime boss. Yeah, Immolate's pretty nuts. Alright. I guess I'll go ahead and jam that Reaper out there right away. I like the pen nib pickup too. I didn't talk about that when it happened, but real nice. Wow. Can you imagine if he was attacking this turn? Feel no pain, power through, second wind, block out. We don't quite get to do that. I don't want to skip Feel No Pain, but it's not useful this turn, and it's not useful next turn. And those seem like some pretty important turns. If we play Feel No Pain, we're probably skipping Strike, so it's Feel No Pain or 9 damage. Do total of 23 this turn, set him to 100. If we set him to 100, then we can't play Immolate without splitting him next turn. Do we want to split him next turn? I mean, yeah, we do. Well, okay then. We did not get it. So let's protect our flanks a little bit here. Metallicize and Defend both do some work. I kind of like Strike here, though, just to set up a better split. Pen Nib Immolate is an interesting idea. We're getting Immolate next turn, though, and it's skipping a shuffle, because we're drawing 5 out of 4. So I think it's pretty unlikely that we're setting up Pen Nib Immolate. I mean, it could happen, like, way later in the fight, but I don't think we're super interested in trying to set that up. Yeah, I like Metallicize better than Defend, I think, if we're trying to block. Metallicize also just, like, we're splitting him next turn, and the turn after that, it can be, like, two slimes attacking. So we're really just, like, do we want to do 6 damage to the 2 big slimes? I think the answer is probably we don't care. We're just killing them with Immolate eventually anyway. If we bash Strike instead of Immolate, we're not really too worried about the slimes, so, like, we don't have to split him right now. If we bash Strike, this is 10, that's 9, 19 damage. So he'd go to 77. It's a pretty good setup turn. Possibly get a Pen Nib next turn if we get 3 attacks. Could get like Strike, Strike, Strike plus. Alright, I'll take the setup instead of the split right now. Let's just get some cards out of the deck. Pressure's on now, we gotta get a split this turn. Oh no, this is not a good split. I guess we get Feel No Pain developed, so it's like Strike, Sword Boom, Feel No Pain. Darn, we're like just a couple of, we're 1 strike off of getting a really good split. Probably a Pen Nibbed Heavy Blade next turn, which is something. We're definitely not taking 38, so we have to split. Oh, neither one's attacking. Okay, well, whatever then. 28 plus 9 is 37. It's a pretty decent split on Acid Slime. Sets him up for an Immolate lethal next turn. I dig it. Avoids getting weakened. Guitar, are you trying to hold the Pen Nib for Immolate there? Seems kind of scary. Flame Barrier is always happening. Slime's actually blocked for more than defends here. And I think we're just trying to save health, wait for Immolate. Hey, 4B. I think I'm going to take 4 here to develop Heavy Blade. So that we get a nice split on Acid Slime whenever we need it. I guess I'm taking 1. I keep forgetting about the Metallicize. There's the Immolate. Alright. Alright, see you around, Sir Artemal. I guess I'll kill 1. Oh, I should have played Second Wind. Oops. I don't really want to redraw a slime. Probably doesn't matter. And now we're just setting up Pen Nib for next act. Okay. Not a bad fight, not amazing. Feed, huh? It seems like an absolutely amazing feed deck. We've got a lot of block. We're not ever forced to kill people. We've got like a Pen Nib. Hey, Action Johnson. Loafers. Berserk is probably not good. Exhume currently hits Reaper, which is a pretty big deal. Feel No Pain wants us to pick cards that have exhaust synergy like Exhume. Man, a lot of names for the community here. Loafers, the Vegetable Patch, Croutons. Cabbage Patch Kids. Trademark Strike. Let's just take a feed. Feed's amazing. The Crust. Snack. Oh, that was pretty good. We don't have any gold synergy relics, so we could pick Ectoplasm. Not a big fan of picking Busted Crown here, so we got some really bad options and then a Snecko Eye, so I imagine it's just Snecko Eye. Snecko Eye seems really good with like Second Wind and Power Through, so we can like draw a bunch of cards and have big second wins. We've also got a bunch of 2-cost stuff: Immolate, Heavy Blade, Flame Barrier, Reaper, and Bash. So those all get average decosted by Snecko Eye. Not a huge fan of Snecko Eye 3 energy decks. I do like getting some extra energy to go along with it. We do have Ancient Tea set, so a little bit of extra energy, but only at the beginning of a fight and only sometimes. Snecko Eye is super good with Corruption, obviously. This deck wants a Dead Branch so bad. Imagine Corruption Dead Branch in this deck. Even just Dead Branch, Second Wind would generate 1,000,000 cards. Yum. Alright, we'll take a Snecko Eye. Champ is our opponent here. We don't have enough money to go to a shop, so we need to avoid this path. Probably want to grab these question marks. Hey, Talger. Yes, it is Ironclad time. A lot of fires available. There's a triple fire bit here, and with an elite. Please teach how to not die. I'll try. We definitely, this is a deck that's good at not dying. I'm not sure how good it is at winning fights, but not dying is its specialty. Feel No Pain, Power Through, Flame Barrier, Second Wind, Metallicize even. A lot of defensive tools. I'm looking for some strength scaling with like Reaper, Heavy Blade, Sword Boom. And we got a little bit of a side plan with Feed. Alright, so you're on guitar. Definitely a deck that wants a dual wield. We were offered a dual wield on floor 1 instead of this Heavy Blade, but it seemed like an unsafe speculative pick. But we've got a Reaper, a Metallicize, a Feel No Pain, and a Feed now, so like everything wants to get duplicated here. Okay. Question marks presumably are good. I think bites are still good. We did upgrade and remove a strike, so bites aren't like incredibly amazing, but they're still definitely good. Bites and apparitions are both good because we have feed, so we can get back some of the lost health. We also just have feel no pain, so apparitions will block in addition to making us intangible. What are the good cards for an exhaust deck? I never know how to make one happen. Feel no pain is the core. Second Wind is a strong player. And Power Through generates stuff in your hand. I don't know. So exhaust is not... You can't kill people with an exhaust deck. The reason that exhaust decks are good is they turn statuses, which are normally a bad thing, into a good thing. So if you can like draw a bunch of cards and then Second Wind away all the garbage, you're in pretty good shape. But you still need a scaling damage plan. So yeah, these two are the most important cards. Snecko Eye also very helpful for drawing a bunch of cards. Corruption, also really good. Yes, Evolve is good. Yep. Evolve is, honestly, just pick Evolve. Evolve is never bad. Pretty much every Ironclad wants to evolve. You say Juggernaut works surprisingly well. I don't know. I'm not a big Juggernaut believer. I have had a lot of problems trying to turn scaling block cards into scaling damage cards with Juggernaut. It just seems like it's too slow. Barricade would be okay. I think we're blocking enough every turn that we don't really care about Barricade. Barricade's best in a deck that has, like, Corruption and, like, Entrench and Impervious and stuff, like a bunch of really big block cards, especially Entrench. But, like, that's not really the situation here. This deck is pretty good at just, like, blocking a little bit every turn, so hopefully we should just be able to block out regularly. Because Barricade, like, evens the block out, but we don't really need that here. We block for a bunch. Alright, let's get some question marks. Alright, Chosen is here. So, Feel No Pain is really important. Our very first Snecko Eye turn. We could Second Wind away a bunch of garbage, but I think we're going to Heavy Blade while she's vulnerable. Get some damage in. Alright, I think I'll play Feel No Pain even though it costs 3. Alright. Sure. Zero cost bash seems good. We're already blocking out this turn. This block for 12, 15 with the Metallicize. So we could play a defend just to get a dazed for later. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't decide. I think it's a good thing. I would really like to get feed off right now. Looks like it's not happening. If we play Second Wind, we block for 15 plus... so it's going to be 9 per card, 3 cards, so 27. She's hitting for 26. Seems like that lines up pretty well. Also decreases the size of the deck so we can draw back to feed. We do lose the power through, but that's okay. We're blocking for 8, 11 here, so she's hitting us for 11. We can obviously kill her, but that means we're not feeding. Can't play both Flame Barrier and Reaper. Flame Barrier plus 8 is 20, so we block for 23. That blocks out. Seems fine. And we can't play Heavy Blade without killing her, so I won't play Heavy Blade. There's the feed. Heavy Blade still kills her. Does Strike Feed do it? It does. Excellent. Alright. That felt really good. There's a Shockwave. We have Snecko Eye, so Shockwave is obviously busted. Reckless Charge is something I would have considered before the boss, because before the boss we didn't have Snecko Eye, but Reckless Charge is pretty weak with Snecko Eye. If we had an Evolve, I would probably pick Reckless Charge anyway, but we don't, so I'll just pick Shockwave. Yeah, I also wish Feed made an Om Nom Nom sound. This is obviously super good. Anytime you have Snecko Eye, Cursed Tome is good, because any of your attacks can be a 2-cost attack. For Cursed Tome, there's 3 possible outcomes, 2 of which are just always good. So you don't really need to think about whether or not Nirlies or... Oh gosh, what's the other one? The one that generates a power at the beginning of the fight. So it's a Necronomicon, Nirlies, Codex, and... Nilix? I think you're... No, I don't think that's quite right. Alright, I guess I'm gonna look it up. Cursed Tome, what do you do? Encarildan. Yeah, Encarildan and Neuralaze are just always good. Neuralaze is insane. Encarildan is like usually pretty good. It's definitely good in this deck. We definitely want powers at the beginning. Dark Embrace, Corruption, another Feel No Pain, Demon Form. Pretty much any power is good. The only real bad one is Berserk. Neuralaze is nuts, because we can, like, if we get a Corruption, we're going to be running out of stuff, and Neuralaze will keep us alive. But the real one that you want to consider is whether or not Necronomicon is good. Like, sometimes Necronomicon hits nothing, and then you're really sad. But with this deck, we'll always have a target for Necronomicon, so... And it's Encarildan. Okay, Encarildan's probably the best option, so I'm pretty happy about that. We did get a Corruption for free on turn 1. Well, look at that. Let's just play Shockwave for free. I'm down. Okay, we take 2. Wow. So we're setting up for feed next turn. We're guaranteed to draw it because we're drawing our whole pile. He's going to be vulnerable, so we just need to set him up to 15 or less health. Immolate does 84 damage, which kills him. That's too much. Yeah, Corruption Snecko is pretty busted. It's pretty insane. Oh my god, you got the Candle Necronomicon? I love Candle Necronomicon. Rupture got way stronger too. I haven't done it since the Rupture buff. That sounds fun. So we can't Immolate because it kills him, and we want to keep him alive. So we're going to Heavy Blade instead. I'm just presuming that we can set it up somehow. Do we Immolate now? Nope, still too much. Actually, that leaves him at 19, so we're gonna have to get another attack in too, because feed only does 15. Do I want to redraw Feel No Pain and Wounds? I think no. Alright, Strike Feed should be fine. Great, we need to get that feed upgraded. Shrug It Off would be amazing if we were guaranteed to generate Corruption, but we are not guaranteed to generate Corruption. That was just lucky. There's no Corruption in the deck. I think Shrug It Off might still be good, though. We do have some card draw. Snecko Eye is it, I guess. Dark Embrace sometimes. Alright, I'll take a shard. We could heal. We get full value out of healing. Go to 80. If we choose one of 20 cards, we could get Corruption. We could get some form of Strength Scaling. We really need the Strength Scaling. We could find a Dual Wield. Yeah, this is usually Reed, right? So Reed, I think, is the right instinct. Just want to think about it. We've got a Blood Pot, so we're really not too worried about our current health. Reading is for nerds. So you're saying we should do it? Because we're nerds. This deck is already pretty good. I don't know if we like necessarily need more cards. But I think we have the luxury of adding more cards, because Snecko Eye is going to draw us the whole deck pretty quickly. We're currently drawing the whole deck in approximately three draws. We do miss one card. Bludgeon. That's true. Bludgeon hits hard. Alright, let's read. This is Body Slam I talked about. Inflame is technically strength scaling. Impervious is amazing. Spot Weakness is also strength scaling. The only rare here is Impervious and Berserk. I honestly don't hate Berserk. If we get orange pellets, Berserk is pretty incredible with Snecko Eye. Energy is great with Snecko, yes. I don't like being vulnerable. It's kind of the problem with Berserk. Inflame is pretty good. Inflame is kind of what we were looking for. I'm kind of shocked that nobody's saying, like, lol, pick Impervious, win the game, because that's kind of what I feel like. Impervious is, like, kind of the obvious pick here that nobody's talking about. It blocks for 30. It says Exhaust. We have Snecko Eye. The cost doesn't matter. Right? Like, am I wrong? Impervious is, like, super good here. It is boring. That's fair. That's fair. I see. So people are just picking the people are talking about the non-obvious picks because the obvious pick is already presumed. Yeah, I think it's going to be Impervious here, right? Like, Impervious is amazing. Uppercut's actually not bad. Uppercut's pretty good. all right. I'll pick Impervious and win the game. Okay. All right. An extra question mark or an extra fight. Fights honestly aren't bad. With a Reaper and Feed, I kind of like fights. We definitely can lose. It's not like we're guaranteed to win the game or anything. If we go here and we still feel good, do we end up doing 3 elites, one of which is or 4 elites and a mega? That seems like a really aggressive line. Seems like we're really good at Act 2, though. Immolate. Shockwave. Bunch of block. Impervious. Feel really strong. Bites, huh? I don't know if we need bites. I think we might be no on bites. Makes the deck size 1 larger. Costs a lot of max HP. We've got a Reaper already. Bites do slightly more damage than strikes. We do have feed, so we can get the health back, but it still costs us, right? And because we have feed, it costs slightly more max HP than it would otherwise. Bites are fun, that's true. Also, oh wait, no, I don't know what I was about to talk about apparitions, but this is not the apparitions event. I mean, it also costs us current HP, right? Like, it puts us to 60. It only costs us 3 current HP, I guess, but it takes all of our headroom, right? We can't heal on fights anymore if we take bites. Because we're at max HP, not because bites don't let us heal. They do. It's exactly what they do. If we're trying to stick around in fights and block forever and then eventually feed on people, bites make an awful lot of sense. And that does kind of feel like what the deck's doing. We're doing like dual wield Metallicize, bites, and then eventually feed. But yeah, it does add 1 to the deck size. I'm not too concerned about the deck size, because Snecko Eye gives a lot of card draw. So adding 1 to the deck is not like a huge deal. Yeah, exactly. If we get dual wield, then we can just like Metallicize, Reaper, feed, eat everyone, end at full health. But we don't have a dual wield, so I should probably stop talking about it. I've been talking about that dual wield like non-stop since I skipped it on a floor 1. I wonder if we were supposed to take it. It seems really dangerous. Like, I'm trying to remember like how scary Act 1 was, right? Because we like upgraded a strike and a fire in Act 1. We were like really afraid of dying to Lagavulin. We only took 2 elites. And the deck feels really strong now, but in Act 1 we felt really fragile. I think I'm no on bites. I think we don't need it. No, we haven't seen Coffee Dripper. Coffee Dripper would be a great. We could take a bunch of fires instead of the elites. Get 3 fires and then a shot before the first elite of the act, but then we'd only be doing 1 elite. Fires would upgrade feed, upgrading Shrug It Off, upgrade Second Wind. A lot of stuff that could get upgraded. The deck is good at elites though. Yeah, and relics are good. I'm not sure that selection of of relics is representative, right? There's definitely some bad ones, but like there's a lot of good ones you didn't mention too, right? Like Vajra would be good, Duvudal, strength scaling is good, anything that blocks is good. We're like pretty unlikely to die too, so I'm not really too concerned. I don't know if we're actually doing the 4 elite path though. Maybe we do like this fire and then go take some more question marks and go here. I don't know, it kind of depends on how this elite turns out. Okay, free Metallicize is not that exciting. Reaper heals us for, this is going to be 6 to all of them, so we heal for 18. We should get full value out of. Okay. Immolate seems pretty good here. Okay. And the classic question of, do we feed for free or do we try and feed? It's true, rare cards are also quite good. Get a Corruption, get a Demon Form? Yeah, Demon Form's good, right? Because we have Snecko Eye. And that is something we can get from elites, and we cannot get from fires. I think we saved the feed. I think there's a reasonable chance we get it off here. Yeah, I would take Barricade. Barricade's okay with Snecko Eye. It's so expensive, but we don't care about the price, right? So that's free. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Can I redraw Inflame? No. I think we're ignoring the Fat Gremlin and going for the leader. We are skipping feed here. Maybe we're not ignoring the Fat Gremlin. The deck is pretty thin, so redrawing back to feed is not crazy. We don't have an Inflame. Oh, were you talking about? You're probably talking about Immolate. Let's see, if we play Immolate, do we accidentally kill Gremlin Leader? It does, 28 plus 14 is 42. So we can't do any more damage to Gremlin Leader, or else he dies on accident to Immolate. So I guess this is going to go to Fat Gremlin, after all. Well, wait, what's the point of that? Why are we doing all this? That's true. If Sharkanoff gets a 0 or 1 cost Immolate, we get a feed right here, so let's try that. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's a whole different ballgame now. So now we're skipping Immolate, this shuffle. So now we're in some trouble. Alright, so I think the priority now is being able to kill Gremlin Leader. We're not trying to save feed anymore. Yeah, that was definitely the worst case scenario. That was pretty bad. Second one's great here. Do we have lethal? 15. If Sword Boomerang hits... Oh wait, no, we have lethal no matter what. Okay, great. Alright, I will happily end the fight. I think we were health positive in that elite fight. Captain's Wheel's great. There's an Inflame. I didn't take it from the library event, but if it's free, I mean, I don't know. Is Inflame good? It opens up a limit break, which is something I want. You have to, like, the problem with Inflame is you have to, like, draw it and play it. It's, like, the worst way of getting strength. It's, like, so awkward. I would much rather just have, like, a Vajra or something. We do have Heavy Blade and Sword Boom and Reaper, which is, like, a really important strength scaling card. Yeah, Armaments Plus is great. This is not an Armaments Plus. This is just a regular Armaments. And there's some pretty important contention for the plus here, notably Feed. Hard to imagine upgrading Armaments before Feed. Although, you know, you can use Armaments to upgrade Feed. Second rent. If it was an Armaments Plus, I think we would be taking it. I think we skip here. I don't think we need the Inflame badly enough. I want some strength, but this is too slow. And just small. Because if the plan against the Heart is to, like, take Inflame and then play Limit Break a bunch, like, this is not the right deck for that. This deck is too unwieldy for that kind of stuff. We don't have, like, a Headbutt, even. Yeah, right. We're probably upgrading Feed next floor. I think that's almost certainly what's happening. I'm just saying, like, if you're talking about Armaments Plus, then you're saying that Armaments gets the upgrade. And it would have to go over Feed and Second Wind, which I don't think is happening, over Shockwave. I think we're skipping. And upgrading the Feed. Yes, that's what's happening. Okay, great. Well, we were health positive on that, so we have to feel encouraged to go for the more aggressive line. That does force us through a shop, which could be fine. We'll have enough energy to buy a Brimstone if we see it. So that's, or orange pellets. Should be okay. A free Juggernaut, you say? Very well. I will play it. Did I say enough energy to buy it? We've got 180 energy. Absolute monolith of energy. We actually don't get full value out of this. We've tried to heal for 18 and only heal for 15, but you know what? That's fine. Thanks for the follow, Blue Spirit 233. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Vegetable Batch. Maybe that Impervious was not right, but I think we're winning the fight once we draw Immolate, so just kind of waiting on that. Second Wind doesn't do anything here. Second Wind just exhausts Metallicize. Snecko Eye has decided we're going to have a bad turn, and so shall it be. It seems like our main options here are Bash or Strike. Which is pretty upsetting. Yep, Snecko Eye do what it do. Can't be helped. Currently, Immolate is doing 42 damage, so these two are already dead if we draw it next turn. We draw it almost every time. It would have to be one of the bottom two cards. So good chance we just get lethal next turn with Immolate the outside to feed the Taskmaster. So I think we'll just go for max block, which is just Second Wind. This is incredibly sad. I guess we're weak, huh? I wasn't considering that. Immolate's still gonna clean up, though. And we'll just go ahead and Heavy Blade him to avoid getting, whatchamacallit, netted. We have 3 energy, so if we draw Feed, we'll be able to play it. We're weak, he's vulnerable. It does 12 damage. 12 turns into 18, which turns into 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. So So I think we just defend, and then just feed him next turn. Okay. Hey, we got our Vajra. Good thing we didn't take that Inflame. Alright. Battle Trance is incredible. This is Battle Trance Plus, which is even better. Dope. Alright, yet another health positive elite. Tungsten Rod is being offered. Good God. Whoa. Yeah, Battle Trance is super good, right? I'm definitely willing to pay 1.5 energy for drawing 4 cards. Tungsten Rod is busted. Tungsten Rod is occasionally bad in Ironclad if you're doing Rupture synergy. Seems like we're just not, though. Seems like that's not what's happening. It's got to be better than Sapphire Key, right? Let's do it. Snake Plant plus Dark Embrace. Dark Embrace Shockwave draws card. Dark Embrace is kind of bad with whatchamacallit, Battle Trance. If we had a Dark Embrace in the deck, I would have thought more about it. Yeah, unfortunately we can't do Tungsten Rod, Blue Candle, Necronomicus because we've already seen the book and we got a different one. But I like the idea. Feel No Pain Second Wind can't happen. That is too much energy. We could just Second Wind. I guess Second Wind draws a bunch of cards, which is kind of fun. Just Feel No Pain Defend actually blocks pretty well. Feel No Pain blocks for 4 at the end of the turn, 9 total. Block the first one and take 7 health loss. Wait, what's the Rod? Rod Necronomicus? Oh, a Tungsten Rod, yeah. What, do you need the Barricade? I mean, I guess. I guess that makes it infinite, right? Or last forever. Does that work against the Heart? I guess it does, right? Yeah. Unless you have a Feel No Pain minus and you're doing it on like turn 5 or later, and then it's block neutral, but you're probably doing it in the first shuffle, so. But maybe you don't have the Barricade up in the first shuffle? I don't know. You probably have a Feel No Pain plus if you're fighting the Heart, so whatever. I don't know. I want to play the Feel No Pain, but it costs 3. 3's a lot. Second Wind blocks out, draws a bunch of cards. Always fun bash. Sure, draw me a bunch of cards. Pendib Strike? There's an Immolate next turn. Why don't we just wait for the Immolate? 39 damage fee. That's almost there. Alright, see you, Sir Animal. I mean, I guess this is 30 damage. Alright. How to eat snake. Step 1. Prepare snake. Oops, probably should have Reapered. I guess I still can. It only heals us for 4, but we don't need much. We can Impervious just to draw a card. That seems irresponsible, so I won't do it. Battle Trance, can I have a feed? Yes, I can. Great. Yum. Second Reaper. I mean, that's good, right? Power Pot versus Colorless Pot. Maybe we don't need the Blood Pot. We're at full health. But Blood Pot heals us for like 20. It's a lot of health to just toss out. Those Blood Pot's like a fairy in a bottle, right? Except we have to choose when to use it. I'm taking this. I think I'm skipping a Power Pot for a Colorless Pot. Sounds crazy now that I've said it out loud, but like... Incorildon is kind of already a Power Pot. Yeah, Corruption's really good. But like, Colorless Pot can be like Dark Shackles, or like Panic Button, or like Mind Blast, or like... Colorless is really good. You say it's hard to control. I used to think exactly what you thought, Valdrick. I was like, Colorless Pot is inconsistent. And then Baylor was in my chat, and he said, if you think about what you want and then use Colorless Pot, you usually get what you want. And since then, I've been, whenever I am about to Colorless Pot, I'm like, what do I want out of this? I'm like, well, it's an emergency, I need to block. And then I Colorless Pot, and I'm like, oh, that's a solution to my problem, like almost every time. So I've been transformed into a big Colorless Pot believer. It is hard to control, that's for sure true, but like, it almost always has something that solves your problem. Sometimes it doesn't, though. I think I am going to take a Power Pot instead. After extensively talking up the Colorless Pot, I'm going to throw it away. Alright, there's the Dual Wield. Dual Wield and Dark Embrace both available. Dual Wield is kind of nuts with Snecko Eye, because you'll get something that costs 0. You get to make some copies of it. Those copies cost 0. And then you get to play things that cost 0 that are not supposed to cost 0. If we pick Dual Wield, we have 131 gold left. A while ago, they had like a launch checklist going on the NASA spaceflight thing. I've been checking in with this video to see if SpaceX is launching, but they don't currently appear to be launching. There's a bunch of cars driving around. Who knows what's happening? There is an open window today. We will see if they go to space or not. Is Dark Embrace good? Seems like Dark Embrace is super good, right? In the not first shuffle, Secret Technique can go draw skills that cost 0 that shouldn't cost 0. Like Impervious can get recosted to 0 or something. Or we can just get Battle Trance and not decost it. Lots of tricks you can pull with that. Secret Technique. It's up against Dual Wield, which is something we've talked about being good a lot. I'm actually not too sure that Dual Wield is good anymore. It lets us play multiple Feel No Pains, which is awesome. But we already have 2 Reapers, and that's like one of the main targets. Yeah, it seems like Dark Embrace is probably good. I would love to do Dual Wield Dark Embrace card remove. We can't afford that. So that's too bad. So I think it's just Dark Embrace Dual Wield. Okay. Yeah, Dual Wield is super, super good, so. Got a second crack at Gremlin Leader. Dual Wield also with Encorildon is nuts, right? Because we get to, this is guaranteed to be 0 cost power, which is kind of insane. Looks like we need Impervious this turn. Go ahead and fire that off. We are blocked out. Do we use the Power Pot? Sure, let's see what's in there. Get a Demon Form. Okay. Bash does kill Sneaky. It's a good idea. Sword Boom, I guess, isn't good because it can like hit Mad Gremlin 3 times, and that's sad. Alright. If we battle trance, we could get dual wield for Metallicize. But battle trance takes 5 energy, and we could be using 5 energy to defend. I guess we don't really need to defend if we just shockwave heavy blade that kills Mad Gremlin, right? So let's just battle trance and see if we can get a 0-cost dual wield. Nope, nothing good. Okay. We got our dual wield, but Feel No Pain costs 2. And Immolate costs 3. I think we're probably just going to play Immolate. Just for a bunch of damage. Okay, Immolate just wants to get in the game here. I approve Immolate. Yeah, let's go ahead and exhaust that burn. This is not lethal, so I won't play it. Yeah, I think we're hoping to feed in this fight if we can. We're at full health, so using our health to get more health seems like a good idea, if possible. Let's see. So this does 36. 36 plus 15 is 51. Which sets him up for lethal whenever we want. Which seems like a good idea. Oh wait, no, that would be pen nibbed and it would kill him. I don't think there's any way to set up pen nib for the next fight, right? I kind of want to save the Reaper in case I take damage. I guess that's not very realistic, is it? If I want to set up Reapers for later, I should just, like, strike him, right? Actually, Strike is pretty reasonable. It's 45 damage. Leaves him at 13. But the Reapers are already hitting for 13, so the possibility of, like, actually using a Reaper and then leaving him alive is, like, definitely not happening. I think I like Strike. If we have to immolate, I would rather just kill him with it. Either if we don't draw back to feed, it's not a disaster. Oh wow, double shield gremlin. We got lucky there. We can't play Flame Barrier because that kills him. Oh no, we can. He only takes 12. We luckily did the math perfectly. This blocks for 17, and we take, what would it be, 30? No, 29. 29 is an awful lot to take just for no reason, when we could just kill him. I guess it's four perspective health, right, is the reason. Nah. This run's going really well right now, but taking, I don't know, he does have 2 shield gremlins, right? Like, this is the worst possible summon for him. And he can't attack again next turn, so we're pretty likely to get him if we just take this 29. Alright. It's not quite 29 either, because I forgot about Metallicize again. I'm not going to Battle Trance, because that could result in us drawing and being unable to play Feed. Same thing with Shrug It Off. So we're just going to defend to block the burn damage. Okay. There's no Reaper in hand. We can't draw. And even if we could, Reaper wouldn't do enough damage to get through the armor. So we end up at 78, so we took like 20. Burning Pact is a lot of draw. There's a Shrug plus here too. We already have like quite a bit of draw. I think I'm done taking draw for the moment. We've got one Shrug, a Battle Trance, and a Snecko Eye. I always feel like I have to scroll up to the top to get to Snecko Eye, but Snecko Eye is always on the screen. It's just kind of busy to mouse over it, you know? Trying to present a good experience to the viewers, and half mousing over Shockwave, half mousing over Snecko Eye is just not a good experience. Sometimes I try to like fit it in the little gap. Right there. So I can just mouse over Snecko Eye without hitting a card. What an awkward UI. Dislike. Shrug It Off is also card draws. If I'm trying to justify taking Shrug It Off by saying I have enough card draw, then maybe that's not the right plan. Thank you, Sablin. I appreciate the... oh man, what is that called? It's like a notion. Appreciate the thought, I suppose. Shrug It Off blocks. That's something that it does in addition to drawing. It's kind of the more important part about it. Really looking for a corruption. I think I'll take a Shrug. Can't be too bad. We also got more card draw with the Bag of Prep. We draw like almost a 10-card hand on turn 1 now. Surprise Shop. Wastes our Clockwork Souvenir. So there's none of that for the run. Ouch. Also, Preserved Insect? Yikes. This is kind of a disaster shop. Yeah, I never really did find the word. Those aren't it either, Tulcher. I'm not sure what it was. Sentiment. I appreciate the sentiment, was what I was going for. True Grit. True Grit is kind of claiming that we're going to upgrade it, but we're definitely not going to upgrade it. Like, Dual Wield is way ahead of it in line. Shockwave. Yeah, I think we just skip this shop. This is a terrible outcome. Wasting a really good shop because we have no money. Stupid question mark shops. Grumble, grumble. Okay, Book of Stabbing. I want to play Dark Embrace. I don't think we're going to draw and use a dual wield on it. So let's just play it now. And we can't play Feel No Pain Shockwave because Shockwave is super expensive. So I think this turn is just going to be Shrug and attacks and Feel No Pain. So let's Shrug first. Great, we're wasting Immolate. Love that. Dual hits a 0-cost Metallicize, that's neat. We could also hit a 0-cost Heavy Blade. Dual Wield does cost 3 here. Yeah, we really need a 4th energy. It would be a big deal. I guess we're probably not dual wielding because it costs 3. So it's probably like Power Through, Strike, Metallicize, Heavy Blade. Yeah. No pen nib coming up. Okay, sitting for 28. We're blocking for 18. So Shrug It Off almost gets us there. Shrug It Off defend does. Alright, I'll try to save the Impervious. I'm trying not to get stabbed. This Book of Stabbing's got other plans. Alright, the second one draws a bunch of cards. Let's see them. We do kind of dead draw because we're drawing with 0 energy, but they might be playable anyway. Thanks to Snecko Eye. That one is. It's a good turn for the big attack. We have run out of vulnerable. Shockwave wasn't playable last time we saw it, so it's possible we can play it this turn. Okay. Nope, didn't find it. Pended feed could happen next turn. Oh no, it couldn't have. Never mind. Oh wait, it still could. Give me feed. Darn. Alright, I think we take the lethal. Book of Stabbing is too scary. Okay. We're offered another Metallicize. I think we're probably no on second Metallicize. The dual wield has not been good. The dual wield's been 3 costs every time it's been in our hand, but eventually it'll be good. 2 Metallicizes is a lot, though. I think we're skipping here, and then upgrading dual wield at the fire, and fighting champ. Maybe we do want a second Metallicize. I don't know. I think against champ, we're probably just trying to dual wield forever. Dual wield Metallicize forever, so having 2 of them seems pretty reasonable. Probably trying to outscale him. Out-armor the armor guy. Our path through the fight depends so much on what Enkerelden generates, too. It's kind of frustrating. We are currently at 28 cards, which is a reasonable place to stop. That's 4 hands with Snecko. Although I guess we have Bag of Prep, Battle Trance, Double Shrug. That makes it a little more complicated. First Metallicize has been good. I'll take a second one. And go ahead and smith that dual wield. Alright. Dark Embrace. Okay. Fair enough. We got the first Dark Embrace down. We could exhaust feed to draw a card. Feeding in this fight's not super important. I would like to do it. Seems like we probably are going to do it. If we're outscaling him, then we might as well do it, right? Reaper's super good this turn, so let's go ahead and do that. We can Shockwave to draw 1 card. I guess we could have played the other Dark Embrace before that Reaper. I guess other Reaper also draws a card. Second wind hits 3 cards, none of which are super important. Shockwave is the biggest hit. It's our only source of weak. It also draws 3 cards, though, which seems good. Trap. I guess I'll take the turn off to just develop a Field Note Pain. There's our dual wield Metallicize, first one. We're already blocked out. We can shrug it off to just draw back to Metallicize a little faster. There's another dual wield Metallicize. I'll take it. Blocking for 9 at the end of the turn, so we're taking 12 net damage. We can power through to block it all. Or we could defend and take a little bit. Oh wait, yeah, power through blocks exactly. It's pretty neat. Okay. We could second wind to get rid of some unnecessary cards and do some card draw. I believe we still got a Metallicize left, right? Yeah, there's one there. And maybe another one? No. So let's go ahead and play this one and then draw a bunch. We don't need any of these cards because we've got Metallicize for block now. Okay. We can't play this Metallicize because we have to pair it up with... Oh, no, there is another one. Okay, so we can play this one. Let's play Shrug first to see if we want to. Yep, seems fine. Alright. More metal. Shrug is free. Crap. Two-wheel doesn't have any friends here. We're blocking out, so we don't need to do any more block. I guess we'll just extend the vulnerable. We don't need to block here. If we play Immolate, we increase the burn density of the deck slightly. Just means we need a second wind a little bit more aggressively later. The damage isn't worth it right now. So I guess I'll just take the max non-Immolate damage, which is Heavy Blade. Drat. We are in danger of running out of Metallicize, so we can't play both of them. Or Second Wind, but I can play one of them. Block out exactly again. Must be frustrating to be champ. We do need to be poking our way through his armor, because he will eventually scale to the point where we can't hurt him. Which would be sad. That would be pretty extreme, though. Alright, we're blocked out. Can't play a second one because the last Metallicize is in hand. No, he does buff infinitely. Okay, they're back to doing pad closeouts here, but we've got quite a while. I'm not going to go offline unless they go to Locks Venting, but if they go to Locks Venting on that stream, I am gonna either like pause the stream and we can watch it together. Although I can't restream it, you'd have to watch it there. I am very excited about space in general. We need this dual-wield and Metallicize to line up, so I kind of don't want to play Shrug It Off. But double defend does actually mean we take a little bit of damage. Am I right that he'll scale infinitely? Let me check that out really quick. Defensive stance can be cast at most twice per battle, and the subcaster gloats. So he can't scale outside of our attack range. Okay, well that's nice. But he can continue scaling his damage. No, so they'll let me take a break. The thing I can't do is restream it, so I can't like take their stream and show the video of it here, because they own that. I don't own it. We should be able to exhaust the deck more with second wind. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But second wind keeps showing up at the same time as our like last Metallicize or something, so we haven't been able to do it. I don't want to take damage, so I'm going to go ahead and shrug. Okay. We do take a little bit of damage anyway. Not too bad. See, there it is. Second wind Metallicize again. We can't get rid of this Metallicize because it's our last one. Dual wield is nowhere to be seen. Come on, Metallicize. Hey, there it is. Um, 45 is quite a bit higher than 24, so I think we're gonna go for our max block here. We do block out perfectly. This is not our last Metallicize. We've got one more. I kind of hate being stuck on one Metallicize, but I will continue doing it. Let's see, 11 plus 27 is 38, which blocks perfectly, so we can just do damage. Except we're not actually doing damage, but, you know, figuratively. Dual wield has no joy here, no Metallicize. And we don't want to add more bashes or feeds to the deck. I guess we could dual wield a feed, and then we'd be able to use the feed for draw later. Doesn't seem very helpful. I guess we could just exhaust the feed. No, we want to use the feed to feed. Should have used the strike. No reason not to. Can't play that Metallicize because it is the last one. So we take a little bit of damage. Alright, so now we actually can second wind. I'm gonna shrug it off instead, though. Alright. Okay. So that second one was a big deal, so we've decreased the deck size significantly. So we should get more co-occurrences between dual wield and Metallicize, which is guaranteed to happen next turn, which is exciting. We need to block for 12. Power through does that. And power through is the only way to do that, so let's do that. Okay. More metal. All right. Second wind just hits one wound here. I guess that draws a card, which it could be good or bad. If it hits dual wield, it's bad. It did not. We are still taking damage in bits and bobs. Oh, we do have to be careful now to not split him on accident. We need to scale up before we split him. Alright, Metallicize is guaranteed to not work with dual wield this shuffle. But we can second wind these wounds away. That draws 3 cards, which could draw a dual wield. We don't want to draw a dual wield because then it's not going with second wind. So I'm going to defend and then second wind to draw fewer cards, try and dodge dual wield, which we did. Darn. Failed to line up dual wield with a target. Shrug blocks. We don't want to do more damage. We're done damaging. Believe power through needs to happen, so let's do that. We're blocked for 50, which is enough. So great. Can't use second wind because we got Metallicize as the target. I'm going to stop playing the Metallicizes. I'm going to start just copying them. So that I can get a higher co-occurrence rate between dual wield and Metallicize. Because it's frustrating to go through like 3 shuffle cycles and not draw the combo. God damn it. Why did I do that? Now I'm getting sloppy. We can play second wind here. Draws a card. That card could be Metallicize, which is bad. Although not super bad. I guess it's good either way. Or it's okay either way. Okay. We're getting outscaled. Do we play none of the Metallicize or one of them? I kind of want there to be 3 in the deck. So I'm just going to play none of them. I want every dual wield to hit. That's what I want. Champ has 20 strength, but we should still be able to outscale him. This dual wield did not hit, incredibly. I guess we're shrugging it off to draw back to dual wield. We don't want to play these because we'd go below 3 Metallicize in the deck. So I'll play power through. Alright, dual wield hits. So now we're up to 5 in the deck. So we can play a couple. But that turn power through blocked for more, so might as well play it. I care about scaling more than I care about health. But I need to care about health a little bit. Okay. Alright, so there's 4 Metallicize in hand. And 1 in the discard pile, so I can play... what did I say I wanted? 4 or 3? Let's play 2 of these. Well, he's not doing execute yet. Are you serious? Dual wield. What the hell? Well, we block out, so whatever. I want to keep the Metallicize number up, so I'll play power through instead. We need second wind to take care of some of these wounds for us. I don't want it to hit us a Metallicize, but I will play it anyway. Okay. How many Metallicizes are left? Only one, but it's in the same hand with the dual wield, probably. So I'll just play this one. But then no second wind, because I don't want to draw either part. Okay. Got ourselves a dual wield Metallicize, and we've blocked out this turn. I'll leave the 3 Metallicizes in the deck. It's probably less than I want anyway. Alright, he's hitting for 57, we blocked out for 57. Finally, we're outscaling him, I think. We could shrug it off and hope that dual wield costs 2 or less. I think that's worth trying. Very likely that dual wield is co-occurring with a Metallicize next turn, so I'll go ahead and play these Metallicizes. Okay, it did. So we've got these 3 Metallicizes and none in the discard, so I'll keep all 3. When do we stop scaling? I think the answer is not yet. Metallicize puts us up to 66, so we'd take 2 damage this turn. The alternative is we second wind and lose the Metallicize anyway. So I'll just take 2. I already blocked this out, so I think we're skipping the Metallicizes. Looks like we're going to miss this cycle. Okay. We need second wind to clean up some of these wounds. But we can't hit dual wield with it, so can't play it now. We've missed this cycle. We want to keep the Metallicize count up, so I'm not playing this one. Except he's hitting for 75. And we have no way of blocking other than Metallicize. So I'll go ahead and play it. Man, 32 strength is a lot. Alright, we're now in danger of dying if we don't drink the blood pot. We're not scaling fast enough. But I'm still committed. We have a guaranteed dual wield co-occurrence next turn, so I'm not going to mess it up with Shrug. If I play 2, we block out, but then I only have 1 left in the deck. I'll play none. I really need to... I think the minimum number of Metallicizes should be like 6 now. I can't afford dual wield to miss. And we're only taking like 4 damage here. Or I guess 5. Yeah, would have been nice to have an upgraded Metallicize. Finally, dual wield hits. Okay. So now we're up to 5. Um, 87 is a lot higher than 69. Yeah, what's up, Dark Saint 07 XL Rifle? Ironclad's cards. Does Rupture work with Brutality? Yep. Unless you have Tungsten Rod. Yeah, Birdface Urn would have been incredible. Okay. Why is this not working? Shouldn't we be outscaling him? We're currently taking 13 and surviving. And I think that's going to have to be good enough. I'm not going to play these Metallicizes. Oh, we were taking 17 apparently. Yikes. Let's get rid of some wounds. Shrug It Off would shuffle, and that shuffles without these cards, which means there's a higher coincidence rate of Dual Wield and Metallicize. If we draw Dual Wield, I'm going to literally abandon the run. Okay, we didn't draw Dual Wield. A bunch of Metallicizes here. He is unfortunately buffing again. He's getting ahead of us. We're likely to get them together next turn, so I'll go ahead and play 2 here. $93 is a big number. Looks like we're dead. We didn't do it. We thought we were going to outscale him, but he outscaled us. I really thought that was going to work. I think I should have... I went down to, like... I think if I had another shot at this fight, I would win. I went down to, like, 1 Metallicize a bunch of times and, like, skipped a bunch of cycles. Yeah, I should have just, like, never gone below, like, 6 Metallicize. I needed, like, a super high hit rate for the Dual Wield. We weren't getting it. Yeah, that was tough. Thanks for your condolences, C-Chef. Oof. It was a good idea, I think. I don't know. I don't know why that didn't work. We went into the champ fight with, like, full health. We totally dominated Act 2. Burning Pact would have been great, obviously. Yeah, I learned something. We learned how to do this fight better. This is like a clinic in how not to do Metallicized Dual Wield against champ. So, I don't know if I've tried to do this exact type of deck before. I think I have out Metallicized champ before, but it was in a more consistent shell. It was like exhaust everything style Ironclad. And this one with the power through wounds kept us just like outside of the range where we were really scaling the Dual Wield. Also Metallicize Plus would have been huge. Pretty unfortunate one. Definitely feels like I screwed that one up.